Okay, so I'm going to go over very quickly what you need to be focused on for lesson 2.15, Dreams. You will be reading two poems today, one by Langston Hughes called Harlem 2, and the other by Louise Driscoll, which is Hold Fast to Your Dreams. One of the things you want to keep in mind when you're reading these two and listening to these two is how different these two deal with dreams. And when they're talking about dreams, they're talking about your goals later on in life. The reading strategy you'll be using today is visualization, because there's quite a bit of imagery there, and monitoring and clarifying. I would like for you to stop at the end of each poem, do a quick retell, and then make sure that you understand what each poem is asking about. If you go over to 2.15 Part 3, you can listen to them read their poems. Now, what's very interesting is in Harlem 2, the poet, Langston Hughes, is actually reading the poem. He's reading his own poem. And that is a very important point to remember, because he obviously will understand where the pauses go in, where to change his voice a little bit. So I would recommend that you do the text transcripts here, just download them and do your retells right on there, and any observations. So jot just 1, 2, or 3 impressions about your imagery. You will want to take a look at the poem side by side, like in this screen, and see how the two different poems are different when it comes to the dreams. One of the really important things to understand with Driscoll's poem is that she's using 3 different techniques. She's using talking to the reader, having a secret place, and protective words. When you are listening to the poem, look for how she talks to the readers, where she talks about secret places, and what protective words she uses about your dreams. You'll want to make sure you do a quick little compare-contrast of the imagery that you've seen that goes back to your visualization for your reading technique. You do have a quiz at the end of this particular lesson. Make sure you understand what the metaphor is, how to find one, what the metaphor is. There's not a frigid like a book. The conjunctive adverb is, and how to find one. There's probably a video on the way if you don't understand that, or you can Google it. Remember the organizational pattern of All the World's a Stage, where we start off as babies and we go through childhood, then teenagers, then young adulthood, then middle age, then old age, and then we're back to that feeble stage. Take a look at the retell that we did in Class Connect on Monday the 18th to look at all the stages of the men and all the world's a stage and the stages of men. Mood of Harlem, make sure that you double check that in your D2L. And iambic pentameter and irregular are the only 2 meters that we have studied so far. So if you can't remember the meters, I'd write this down. It's either going to be iambic pentameter or irregular. And just so you know, these are the things that are coming up due. Make sure that you're starting to think about a topic for your poem for 216. We'll be working on that in class later this week. So just if you have a topic ready to go, it's not going to be a very long poem. I think it's like 14 lines is all I'm looking for. So just make sure that you've got at least a topic, and then going into the day we talk about the poem. You probably will be able to do your poem during Class Connect or right after. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Have a good rest of your day.